Welcome back to ZeldaSpeedRuns, folks. Thanks a million for sticking with us through the break there. As we mentioned, it's now time to bring you the other 0 and 2 matchup that we have lined up in this Wisp round 3. That is between Warlock2019 and Tyvarius. If it's anything like the previous match, it's going to be very exciting to watch, so I hope you all are looking forward to it. So I'm going to show up. I'm going to leave you in the hands of Homewrecker on tracking and Mirai and Royal with Cheese on commentary. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm back for the second race. I'm here with Royale with Cheese. How are we doing tonight?
Doing well. Excited to watch these two not primarily Zelda 2 runners. This should be a good matchup. These two are both Link to the Past runners, Link to the Past Rando runners. They are friends in that community, and they casually race Z2R since they both started playing it together. So this should be a good matchup.
So I had heard something that there were a handful of Link to the Past runners that had been convinced to jump into Z2R for the standard tournament, and I assume that these are part of that group.
Yes. Homewrecker, convinced. I was very convincing and not bully at all.
I see.
I mean, this game is so great. We want to share it with everyone.
This game is great, and here we go. As I get into the race from here, make sure I know what's going on.
Yeah, we're doing custom flags, which is just no vanilla maps. There's no possibility of vanilla maps today in this flag set.
Oh, very true. That's right. We are running a custom flag set. Fantastic. We've been seeing a lot of vanilla biomes just pop up randomly, in air quotes there, throughout the early stages of this race, of this tournament. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air to not be completely always pelted with vanilla biomes. I don't remember what we saw on the sign here for Rudo, but
we saw jump. So we have vanilla jump today and trophy somewhere in the west.
Royale still in tracking mode. Fantastic, because I'm probably a little burned out from the previous race we just finished. Hoping we don't find any red divers hidden in the dark here. Just some moblins. When they're throwing the spear, that means they're blue. If they're holding onto their spear and they're shadowy, it means they're red. And if they're orange, well, that means they're orange. And you see them in the dark. Oof. I know Warlock has dabbled a little bit in vanilla Zelda 2. I could have swore I saw his name pop up a few times in the vanilla Zelda 2 speedruns Discord here and there, but
yeah, he runs all keys sometimes. Okay. And Ty did pick up the trophy there in vanilla Magic Container Cave. So he will be able to go get the jump spell.
Always nice to have early. Going to be castable pretty early on, and then when you find Mito, well, you get yourself a downstab technique. Looks like we have the tri-state area here with all these towns in place.
All right, trophy for Warlock as well.
I think Tyvarius showed us a cave there that went to what looked like the east, right next to a raft tile. I don't know if we were boots locked or if there was a small little one-tile pathway to walk further into the east, but regardless, I don't think we want to be digging into the east at 111, essentially. Homewrecker in chat with sharing his thoughts.
And Warlock is going to pick up jump. This might work out well for him. He'll be able to get that early down stab.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tyvarius not getting the jump spell, so walking through Mito, no down stab for him. Have to come back.
Does look like he's going to grab the free shield spell out of Saria, though.
Not a bad play. Not a bad play at all. I like an early shield. Okay, so we can get through on the east here if we want to. That would have been really interesting had we not, unless we would have been boots locked, to just have the raft go east, hit the raft tile. Maybe the boots are on something like a Maze Island. That would have been a pretty interesting connection there. Tyvarius not happy about something there, it looked like.
I mean, surely he's not upset about this free thunder in Raru.
It was right before he walked into town. I'm not sure exactly what we were throwing our hand at. Yeah, so we've got what? We've got jump, we've got a free down stab, we have shield, we have thunder. Geez, all we need is a fairy spell, which doesn't seem like it's going to be on the west here, seeing as we've seen every town just kind of hanging out here in within 20 paces of each other. Child with the I know nothing hint, as usual. Looking kind of Caldera-esque here. This could actually be a pass-through there. The top, the back of Fairy Cave, I believe is what that was. I'm sorry, that would have been the back of Jump. What am I talking about? That would have been the back of Jump. I don't think we saw a check into the other cave that was facing west, unless I'm completely mistaken. If we did, and it's not a pass-through, then, of course, we will have a one-sided Caldera, but haven't fully identified that yet.
Warlock is also picking up the shield spell out of Saria.
Yeah,
Here we go, Ty. That's it.
A lot of early game. It always feels a little weird to me, at least, when I'm just walking through towns. It's like the first 5 to 7 minutes of the game. It's just you find all the towns. You're just walking through towns the whole time. You're not really doing anything. You're still at 1-1-1, or in these guys' case, I guess Warlock has 1-2-2 and Ty has 1-1-2. But still, you're such at low levels. No real levels have been gotten, and all you've seen is towns. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it's just hints and you're not really rewarded with anything. Yeah, Warlock, that cave that's just northwest of where Warlock is in Raru. I don't know if that's a pass-through, if that's going to be an item cave.
This is a bit of a feels bad for Ty. This is going to end up being a triple dip of Mito for him.
Yeah.
Once in without jump, wants to get down stab, and he's going to have to come back here with the medicine for reflect.
Do we have a castable thunder? We do have a castable thunder. It's only 60 at Magic 2. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be helpful if these guys run into any of those tough, like an overworld encounter or something, just be able to bust out one cast of thunder immediately and save your butt.
Yeah, look like the spells we've picked up so far are pretty reasonable in terms of magic cost. They're all at least castable for Ty at Magic 1.
Warlock's shown us that it's either the back of Fairy or Parappa Cave that was facing west there. So that's going to take us into the Caldera. And I'm going to assume that we're going to see the back of Jump here on Warlock's side as well. But we also have what looks like a hammer-blocked cave as an exit to what I will, this is where I'll assume, is another pass-through. So it seems like we will have a one-sided Caldera just from this side, and the other side of the Caldera will need something to get over there. A bridge, a raft tile, another cave, something like that. So we might see the east pretty early on here.
Ty is exploring this little bit of east.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
So now they both are exploring this little bit of east.
I wonder
So
if
this
we.
is the other of 3 or 6 that Warlock is showing us. The other of 3 or 6 was on the west, just south of that group of towns.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had a Bagoo that was available to us on the western section that we had access to, because we did see Saria, and Saria was blocking. He was across water, and I don't know if there's an item cave up there on the other side. That could have been like boots. That could have been raft or something if it did have something. But again, I don't know if we had access to a Bagoo. I don't know if we've been checking forest tiles or if there were even any forest tiles to check.
I think I saw both of them check one forest tile that was not Bagoo, and I'm not sure if either of them found any other ones or checked any other ones.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't paying super close attention either. And then by the time I noticed the Saria gap, the water, the lake there, it was too late. Oh. That's what you want to see early.
Nice early free fairy for Ty.
We'll see if this holds true with what we've seen so far with our cheap spells. We'll see if Fairy wants to be cheap or if it wants to be expensive.
Warlock taking a game over on the eastern continent, so he will be put back in the west to start.
It was interesting there. I was wondering if Warlock, because he saw that one forest tile, I was wondering if that was going to be a new Kasuto and he'd have potentially some knowledge that Tyvarius didn't have, because they both kind of split up there, where Warlock kind of went a little bit further east before going south, and Ty went straight east through the double Darunia encounter, and was rewarded more than Warlock was, but it could have gone either way. It almost looks like, sorry, there's a forest tile on the other side of Saria. I bet that's Bagoo over there trolling.
That would be on brand.
I guess if we bring this fairy spell back to the west soon enough, we'll find out on what's over there. Again, who knows? Who knows? We've seen, like, what could be on the other side of the west at this point? We've seen at least an item cave and all 4 towns over here. So there's going to be a palace in the caldera, a palace on the side that we have access to, and then a palace on the other side. But then I guess just the remainder of the item caves. I guess the good thing about that is at least they'll have a spot to up an A at when they get to that side. Tyvarius did find the desert tile there. Luckily, didn't get trolled by some desert encounter that was bad and might have game overed him there. But it does get rewarded with the magic container, so that's going to give him. I didn't see how much fairy cost. Did we see how much fairy cost there?
He was too quick with his menu. Okay, Warlock has found his way into the caldera. GP. Very nice. And Ty has found his way into Sunken Peabag Cave, still on the east. Warlock getting the good news that this is a one-sided caldera. Okay, so fairies are our troll. 83 at Magic Chew.
Wow. There's our triple dip medicine for Ty, and yeah, 83 for Fairy, just out of castable reach now. I totally forgot about this jump cave that we've got here. I just this is likely going to take us to the other side of that caldera, so it doesn't have to be a bridge or a raft or anything that leads us over there. This jump cave could be the only way to the other side of the caldera. So yeah, forget what I said earlier, unless we find some other issue. Maybe it's hammer blocked on the exit. We won't know yet, but maybe it will be. That attack 1 hurting Warlock a lot here. Attack is something that usually sucks pretty bad at attack 1. And even just attack 2 makes sometimes makes a big difference. All right, Royale, we're going to be deferring to you for expert routing here. With the knowledge we know, where are you taking us? Where would you be going? Would you be going to the jump cave like Warlock is, going across Sari to make that check, jumping into, well, I guess not a palace, but power leveling from magic? What is the Royale play here?
I'd probably be doing what Warlock's doing.
Okay.
I would be looking for the rest of the item caves on the west if I can find them.
Yeah, I do agree with that play. I think these are all potentially valid plays, just depending on what you are trying to get out of the seed.
I generally like to clear the overworld checks if I can.
Yeah, there's a lot of free items in the overworld, and palaces can be very maze-like, annoying. They can have the blocks, as Para was talking the last race about wanted the glove before going into any palaces. That's definitely a way to play it, and just check all the overworld stuff to ensure that the glove isn't outside of a palace before you go in and get trolled by any glove blocks.
Okay, we've got a magic container in P-bag/pillar cave for Warlock. And Ty is basically like, we don't need no stinking glove. We're going to go into 3 or 6 here. I have not seen a window yet. Okay, so 3.
Yeah, we don't have a castable fairy, though, do we? Or do we have like a key just sitting in our pocket?
We do not have a castable fairy, and I haven't seen any keys, but that doesn't mean they're not there.
Early game Rebo, though, here at 2-2-3, as long as you get him in the corner, that could be the play to make. Maybe bosses are dropping keys. And again, maybe he has a key that we just didn't see him pick up. Otherwise, he is definitely attempting this out of logic. And if anything, that 6th magic container that he needs to cast his 83 cost fairy is sitting right on the other side of the caldera, as Warlock has shown us. Yeah, attack 2, not doing phenomenal on Rebo. He's taking a hot minute to get him up, but gets him off in the corner. As bad as that statement sounds. Dismounts him, I should say. Dismounts him in the corner. What was it? Sorry. Royale, were you watching Warlock's screen? He just picked up something in medicine.
He's got the hammer. He just got the hammer out of Medicine Cave.
Fantastic.
So, could be useful, maybe.
Yeah, didn't see any hammer blocked caves just yet. We even saw some caves from the caldera when we got the caldera checked. Those all looked open. So unless there's something trolling us, or unless we need spec rock early on to get something, hammer might not be amazing. And it's a cool tool to have, but at the end of the day, if there are no rocks to break, there's nothing to use it on.
Okay, and Ty did manage to keep Rebo in the corner that time and work the downstab cheese strap, but without castable fairy, and apparently he doesn't have a key. He's not going to be able to place his gem quite yet.
He's 40. He gets 3 experience off these generators. So
glove and heart container cave for Warlock. That's a nice find.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so here's the item. Wow. It's another Rebo, though, so he's got to do another one.
He's not happy about this.
He's got 1 life left, so he can step out of here and get that 360 and see if that's a magic level, and see if it makes, and if it is, see if it makes fairy castable. He's got all these generators to work off of, and they all seem to be giving experience. There's the respawnable Mew, there are the square wave heads, there's the tin suits. Yeah, the play, I think, is just go to that 15 experience and see if that drops your magic down. Again, assuming that's a magic level.
Star, welcome. So far, Well, we've got a caldera in the west, and we have all the towns grouped together on one side of it and all the item caves on the other side of it. So that's been a good time.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rebo doing the floating trick that he likes to do on his magic carpet horse. Slowly but surely, work him into the corner. Slowly but surely, get him there. Get him, get him. Got it, got it. Oh!
Oh, that was close. Warlock has found Maze Island from that raft that he picked up on the grass tile.
Very nice. Yeah, unfortunately, that dig into P3 being completely out of logic and him being punished, essentially punished for it so early on, taking the death, taking the game over, getting no levels, no keys, no nothing out of it other than just a Rebanak kill, which ended up being wasted experience, it looked like. That is just time, essentially, that disappears and you'll never get back here. He's got a... he has to find that jump cave and not be digging these palaces here this early. Again, for anyone tuning in who's not familiar with the logic of the randomizer is not going to want us in a palace until we have the magic key or the fairy spell, but the fairy spell would have to be castable at that point, which unfortunately for Tyvarius is not currently castable at 83 magic, and he's only got 80.
Warlock saw Palace 2 there on Maze Island. He's gonna keep digging for the items, I think, before... I'm not sure he's gonna dip this palace since he hasn't found Nubaru in the east yet for his free fairy.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing that might change his mind is there would have to be a magic key here to just give him access. Otherwise, it's just going to be another one of those out of logic attempts. And at lower levels, I mean, P1, if you've got some keys in your pocket, P1 is completely viable, assuming it's not completely packed with blue iron knuckles. But yeah, these are lower levels, and we're seeing do knockers in this palace now. This is going to be P6, as we just saw P3 on Ty side. And yeah, this is a tough. I mean, I wouldn't want to make this dig with as much as I played this game. I would not want to make this dig necessarily, unless I felt I was absolutely forced to do so. Wow, there are a lot of doom knockers in here.
Yeah, even with the fairy spell, I mean, even if it were castable, I don't know that I'd be dipping palaces yet, unless I had a hint that something was somewhere.
Yeah, it's always hard to say exactly what you might want to do. Like I said, a P1, probably not a big deal, but and a P3, as Ty had shown us, not very deep at all. Rebanak just one room to the right. I mean, one room to the left, item room, one room to the right. I mean, it's right there. He can go back in now with the castable fairy and just clear that palace out, get a free level off the gem pedestal, get a free item out of the item room, and that might be a very quick and easy play to make right now.
The Warlock found the cross and the child on Maze Island.
Did we see Ty go back into Mito to get reflect here? Oh, yes, we did. It's
yes. Yes.
Sorry, Homewrecker. I should just look at the tracker.
Yes, Ty has completed his triple dip of Mito. See what Warlock's gonna do now that he has dug the items out of it. Looks like he's heading back to the east now that he's dug those items out of Maze Island. And I like this play now since he's pretty much cleared the entire western overworld.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I may have a little experience with this randomizer myself. I try not to necessarily apply, like I know that Ty and Warlock both being newer runners, less experienced runners, you know, we just talked about how when you would be expected to kind of jump in the palaces, and that I probably wouldn't even be jumping in the palaces myself necessarily. And even if you had to, I'd hate for new runners to have to do that. Just clear as much as you can in the overworld. It is going to make things simpler knowing that you don't have, learn what checks you can make in the overworld, learn which ones are blocked by boulders, new Kasudo potentially being blocked by a hammer, or even magic containers, the spell, see how much that is. Mark that down, keep that in the back of your mind, or write it down, whatever you need to do, and know that you need to come back to those later. But you'll usually find a lot of safeties and necessary items just kind of chilling in the overworld and open.
See, now Warlock's going to come in here to Nibiru, and he's going to pick up Fairy, and he already has the glove. So, he can start dipping palaces now if he wants, knowing that, maybe his magic will limit him on how much he can do, but he at least won't be glove blocked out of anything.
Yeah, he needs to get a magic level. I think that was the 360 that for Ty, because I think Magic 4 is 560 or 590 or something like that. So Magic 3, he needs that, and then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how much is more available on the East for him to explore. It looked like probably a good bit, but P1 still at large, so he might just run into P1 with a 63 cost of Fairy if he gets a level on Magic, and that could be the play to make. Did I say 360? 63? Speaking of, P1?
Yeah, I think P1 is my one palace exception, where, sometimes I'll dip it out of logic if I have a key from the drop pool, or two, maybe.
Yeah, I think P1 being the smallest vanilla palace, and then the randomizer being able to roll plus or minus 50% of the rooms, or is it 50 or is it 25? I forget exactly what that is when it comes to standard palaces, but it makes P1 like it could be as small as like 9 rooms, and so it's a very tiny palace is what it can be.
Okay, well, Warlock finding the desert tile, so that's his 6th magic container, so he can now cast Fairy once at Magic 2. Even with its very high cost.
Might be a big bag up here for him. He can see Moas too. That's very nice.
Yeah, especially with his low levels here on the east. That is very nice.
Hopefully he doesn't take a death though. Still getting a little beat up there. Oh, this could be another bag for him. It's not though. He's so close to that magic level. That 360 is what's going to get him a castable Fairy.
Well, he did find the 6th magic container, so he can cast once.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had the one from the Western continent as well.
Yeah, sorry, I'm new to this game. I think, man, it's back-to-back commentary.
Yeah, Seed Bleed is real.
This is why they brought Royale into like, Mariah, you're not going to be able to handle this, mate. Royale's like, I got this. Yeah, speaking of that glove there, here P1 kind of trolling us with this room, the glove Fairy block, but it, able to be gotten through with Fairy, but that's the whole magic bar and the death there as well. Kind of sucks because again, I have to burn through another full bar of magic to get through here.
Yeah, and this might not even be the way. He's run into a glove blocked room already.
Oh, that's very true.
It is the item, which he won't, well, he'll have to die to cast Fairy for.
I hope he dies. Well, in a good way. In a good way. I hope he dies.
Ty, please.
Yeah. You can actually jump and get that. Yep, there it is. Pro play. Ty with the pro play.
Yeah, Warlock not having a great time with these enemies that hit a little bit hard on the east with life 3. Thankfully, he is not on his last life, and he should easily... Yeah, there's his... He will take the magic level. I think that's a smart play.
There it is. We see that immediate spellbook check being like, or maybe it was for Thunder to cast that, but seeing that Fairy is definitely castable now.
A vanilla P-bag in Risen P-bag Cave. Womp womp. Maybe we'll get some good experience off this orange Lizalfos.
Ouch.
It looks like Ty has finally found all the item caves on the west, which is good. He'll be able to pick up glove and magic container and the hammer, I think. Okay, he's
Yeah.
in the drop pool.
Interesting it took us this long to see that. They must not be too prevalent in there. And so that's, I'm sure Ty would have liked to have seen that earlier in P3. I wonder if he's thinking about P3 right now with that easy, that quick gem placement after Rebo, the quick item access that he's got there in the palace, or it would kind of suck to triple dip it. I mean, you could check the item now and save the gem for later if you really wanted to, because you know that GP. Does he know that GP? We saw Warlock at least check this, that in the caldera is GP. I don't know if Ty has that information or not, but if he did, you could always just leave P3's gem sitting there and place that last gem right before you go into Great Palace to get that final level that you may want.
Okay, there's Reflect for Warlock. And I'm not sure, I think that maybe Ty found his way to this part of the west without going into the caldera first, so I'm not sure if he's seen GP in there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he did check the jump cave first and then just left that Parappa cave. All right, so Warlock in P3 here, going to show us the item if we can get through this Rebanak. You guys have the shield spell, so cast that and still be able to cast Fairy. Has one more attack level over Ty when he came in here, so this shouldn't take as long, but then again, with a randomizer, attack 3 could be the same strength as attack 2. That is a thing that can happen where you really don't get any sort of increase in terms of effectiveness or strength in a particular stat between each level. It's guaranteed to go up eventually, but and sometimes you get really big jumps as well. So it will even out as you level, but 2 and 3 right next to each other. 3 is not guaranteed to be better or all that much better than 2 was. It is, however, guaranteed to not fall below the effectiveness of the previous level.
Yeah, and so far it's not looking great.
No.
Attack 3.
Yeah, either that or Rebo like rolled up and we just can't see the health.
Yeah, one or the other, I think. See how Warlock does with this fight. He has more combat experience from his time running all keys.
Yeah, he was looking good right there with the falling crouching stabs, taking the hits on Rebo, but unfortunately only had one hit left himself.
Okay, so Ty had found the glove, and he's going to head back into P1, probably straight for that glove block that he ran into before.
It seems like that shield spell is doing some work, or that Life 3 is very effective, because he's bodied a lot of damage, and he took like 4 hits. Very, very close to the beginning of the fight, but well, maybe the beams on Rebanak hurt the most. They should, at least. If you ever need to take damage from Rebanak, you want to try to body him, because he bodying him takes less damage off of you than his beams do. Yeah, he's got to execute those hot corner strats, though, as Ty showed us on Rebanak Boss, but unfortunately got caught by Rebanak Item Guarder, or Robanak, Rebanak's brother.
Yep, and quick horse head through that glove block to the right.
Easy horse, easy gem. Just needed the glove.
Boss is dropping black magic jars today. All right, in about 34 minutes, Ty's placed his first gem. I know Rebo is lit up on his tracker, but he hasn't actually placed that gem yet.
Yeah. He saw the door, but unfortunately was still blocked from the pedestal.
Which is fine as long as he doesn't forget.
Yes.
Which, on his personal tracker, he has not marked Palace 3, so it's unlikely, but... No, Home, you're fine. You can do... Home Wrecker is our tracker this evening, and he's doing a great job. You can track it either way. It really doesn't matter. It's more, you know, hopefully the runner doesn't forget what they did.
Okay, so we're back into 3 for Ty. He's gonna we're into 3 across the board here. Hopefully one of our runners can clear this. As long as Ty can get the item boss down, then he's able to just cruise right into the boss room, where the boss does not respawn. So once the boss is dead, the boss is dead. The bosses do not come back. So Ty did not waste all of his time last time when he was in here. So he'll be able to just walk into that room and take out and just place the gem.
Warlock, I think, got frustrated and noped
Yeah.
out. Ty got a great position on Rebo, on item Rebo there.
Wow.
All for a 1-up. Badge.
Yeah, Warlock going back through Jump Cave here. Probably headed into that P1. He'll be able to do it. And that's good because you'll never have to do this 3-screen Jump Cave again to get over there and do that. That's Warlock had to double dip through this cave. And Tyvarius did not. He did not have to double dip through the cave because he did find the glove and he didn't leave this side. So, yeah. So, kind of evens out for everyone double and triple dipping some things here and there. At the end of the day, like we always talk about these things, at the end of the day, when it really comes down to those close races, you know, you have to think that if you lost by a minute, 30 seconds, you know, sometimes even less than that, you know, did you double dip? Did you spend time double dipping or triple dipping something that was like a longer town like New Kasuto? If you go in there for the spell, then you have to come back from the magic container basement. Then you might have to come back a third time for the spell tower. I mean, that's 3 walks into New Kasuto and having to go there every single time. That could very easily have been, if it was a close race, that deciding factor. Ty placing the gem and probably getting DoorDash here as he jumps out of his chair.
Let's see. I think this is the... Well, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, right near the edge there. If you can get off the screen while still taking damage, he would have been in zombie mode. You still survive.
Warlock recognizing that dead end room, deciding whatever's at the end is not worth it.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he finds the item first because, well, I don't know how Warlock feels he should route these palaces, but sometimes runners will find themselves in there a quick P1 and just kill the boss and get out of there. And not that the item is progression, but I mean, I don't think either one of our runners will say no to a heart container. Yeah, the stream is missing it. We can see his camera, and someone is feeding him what looks like an egg roll. Looks like he probably got some Chinese food on DoorDash. So, very delicious meal while playing a very amazing game. I may or may not be.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I may or may not be making some of that story up there. But anyway, he's back. He's back and playing. He's on Maze Island. No, if Warlock gets through this room, it's going to be the item room for him. He's going to need to know to stab that statue and try to get a jar out of it. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to get through that room unless he's got a spare key that we did see in the drop, but I don't know if he's got one. Is he going to check the statue? I think he's going to check the statue.
Please check. Please check it.
Oh, he's got jump as well. He's going to have to cast jump. Perfect. It's afraid sometimes we saw Ty do it without jump, but sometimes if you're not familiar with being able to do that without jump, if you don't think you can cast jump, or if you can't cast jump, you might think that you can't reach some of those statues. But this one you can. Well, I guess interestingly enough, he did have the glove here. See, Ty did not have the glove when he came in here, so he had to ferry. But this is potentially an annoying room, as you can see with the square wave heads. They're just, they're one of the two generators that will always, that will appear in here. It could be tin suits, it could be raw heads, it could be boggle boggers, or it could be the square wave heads. So in this case, a combination of two kind of annoying heads to deal with. So busting through there with the glove would have probably taken a hot minute, and he might have taken too much damage in the process of doing that. So ferrying through there, definitely the better play.
Yeah, I think he was really close to a level, and I think for a moment he considered farming those heads, but then decided it was more annoying to do that, and I don't blame him.
Oh. I thought Warlock was just going to keep cruising and be like, keys? I don't need keys.
Warlock, please.
All right, we got the ferry room here for Ty.
Ty hasn't learned Eco Key yet, so...
That's the next step.
And this should be... I think after this room should be Horsehead. This room, maybe one more after this, should be Horsehead for Warlock.
So this is P2 if I'm not mistaken, based on these windows here. We don't have the stained glass P5 windows are not being seen right now, so I think this is P2.
Yes. Very quick Horsehead kill for Warlock. Nice job. And he's got his first gem placed.
So 390, I think, is, life 4. We'll see if he goes back into P3 with life 4, shield spell. Unfortunately, same cost of magic here, but enough to cast fairy and shield to get through those doors in the item room. That we know is a 1-up, unfortunately, and, of course, Rebo's room to place the gem. Yeah, so what did we... Oh, is this is what we saw. We saw P2 on Maze Island. You had said that earlier, and that's where Ty is now. Okay.
Yeah, by the time Ty got here, he had fairy, he had glove, he had all the things, so...
Yeah.
Kind of nice for him to not have... Yeah, he can do Maze Island all in one shot.
Wants to double level, though, it looks like.
Yes, indeed. And I'm not sure if either of the runners have showed us where that cave connector goes in Maze Island.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed it.
They came with the raft, but there's a cave right above the raft tile.
All right, fantastic. With the jump strats on the block room, that's exactly what I would have done based on the fact that there was a dead end room after that, just a landing room post the block room there. And grabs the P bag, able to double level. He's going to have Magic 5. We'll have to see if Fairy comes down even further from 63. All right, we're back in for the item, it looks like. Wow, we got some keys in the blocks here. I see. That's I thought I saw Ty picking up some keys earlier. Here's where they were.
Yeah, that's always a nice find when you don't have magic key and magic levels are low and fairy is a little expensive. See what we got. Okay, boots. You know, we can walk across the caldera now.
Yeah. We don't really have. What did we have on the east here? We have is it a vanilla-like? Am I remembering that from the previous seed?
I think it might be another vanilla-like.
Okay.
We haven't seen Death Mountain yet, but also I don't think we need to.
Yeah, nothing
I mean,
is pointing us there right now, at least.
Maybe, unless... The East Islands? I don't know. I couldn't tell. If it's islands, it has like one giant island and a bunch of small ones.
Okay, so Ty went into P2, okay, he didn't find any of the other items, just went in, dug the item out of P2, no big deal. As long as you don't spend too much time looking for the items on Maze Island, or flip the script, and if there's like the glove on Maze Island and you need it for the palace that you dug into that's on Maze Island, it's like, well, now I gotta step out, now I gotta go find the items, and it just happened to be the glove. Sometimes it's useful to find the items before jumping into a palace, so you get the feeling whether if you need to find the item in the palace. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think everyone knows what I'm saying.
Everyone knows what you're saying. It's true.
Yes.
Warlock also using jump strats to get that P bag.
Yeah, he's got to get Helmet Head down. I don't think that's going to be necessarily a problem. He's got enough to cast. He's got some keys in his pocket, so he can cast Shield here and not be penalized for not being able to cast Fairy afterwards. So he'll just be able to cruise through the door. Hopefully he doesn't take too many bops here. I don't know how much Helmet Head is hurting, but I think he's got it.
There we go. Helmet Head down. It looks like that cave from Maze Island goes back to the east, right by Valley of Death.
And we're digging in. We're digging into Valley of Death here. Do we have any information on whether we have a three-eyed rock or not at this point, or have we not done enough exploration?
I don't think we've seen enough of the east yet to know.
Okay.
Ty trying for the encounter skip and just misses it. Yeah, I think this is his last life. He's going to just ferry through here. Make sure he can at least, well, hopefully get through these caves.
Yeah.
And here's Warlock headed back into P3, about to get the sad news about the Link doll in here.
Yeah. He spent some time trying to get it out of here before. It would have been nice to have that information.
Yeah,
without
this
having to
is a
double-dip
point
this.
of this is a point of pride now. And Homeworker's right. Warlock did bail on the item in P2, which we know is the boots.
Yeah, we'll have to see how restrictive the Eastern continent is in terms of water. Ty's in P5 though, so this could be interesting.
Attack 4 much better than attack 2 there for Warlock. Warlock taking that one up, he's not happy about it.
At least Rebo's not too deep in. He'll be out of here soon enough. He'll be able to tie up the score in terms of gems. And even though Ty is in P5, this is where I was referring to this getting interesting. If Warlock decides not to take that cave and not end up near Death Valley, might not be tempted to come in here and do a P5 this early on. Again, if Ty finds Guma and gets himself beat up a bunch, takes a bunch of game overs, could easily be a time loss that costs him versus Warlock picking a different palace and coming to this palace much later with better levels.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Attack 4 Guma is usually not a fun time.
I agree. I usually put him up against the wall or the side of the screen and just kind of ensure that I don't get too trolled by him. Unless attack 4 is feeling really good, or if he's already like injured, then I know that it shouldn't be too bad to just stay alive for a little bit. Looks like it's probably going to be, I would assume, a 2-shot with life 6 unshielded, or maybe probably a 3-shot, maybe even a 4-shot with life 6 shielded. All right, easy Robonak, easy Rebanak, and we're out of P3 for Warlock.
And looks like Palace 5 is being Palace 5.
They had an elevator back here. I think it might have been the next room he's coming back to, or at least one more. And he had an option, right here. But P5 being P5 for sure.
And it looks like Warlock did not check that cave on Maze Island, so he is instead opting to dip into P6 here.
I usually don't mind a 6 myself because, well, for me, Barba's a very easy boss, but I understand that for newer runners, Barba's probably not going to be an easy boss, so 5 and 6 probably going to be some of the palaces that these runners want to leave behind, but knowing that you're in a race, and as was pointed out at the beginning by Psychonaut, it's an 0-2 race, so winner stays alive, and the not winner just gets to play out the rest of the Swiss rounds, potentially affecting rankings moving forward, but will not move on to brackets. And does have a chance to jump into the Naburu. Sorry, this is a tongue twister for me. The Naburu Invitational Tournament after this Swiss round is over.
Doomknocker's still hitting really hard on Life 4.
Wow, Warlock with the power level strats here. I didn't realize that. I was thinking 2000 can't possibly be Life 5. So he's definitely skipped, yeah.
He skipped Life 5 coming out of Palace 3.
Yeah, definitely wanted that attack, it seems, which is a totally viable strat. Just as long as you can stay alive, you can make yourself super strong. You turn into a glass cannon. Just watch out for bad stuff. But yeah, totally viable.
So Guma missing 1 bar of health today. Looks like attack 4 might not be terrible here.
Yeah, seems like, what, 2 hits, 3 hits maybe at most? I don't know how accurate those bars are. I don't exactly know what they represent. Survived. Wow, with a sliver of health, and he probably thought he died, and then you kind of fall off balance at that point where you're like, oh, I'm dead, and then you're not dead. You're like, oh, I'm not dead, and then you can
and then it's
again.
Too late. You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, this is totally doable for him though. Like you said, Guma started injured, and it doesn't look like Attack 4 is taking. It looks like Attack 4 is effective against Guma here.
Oh, Warlock taking an unfortunate game over here in P6. So he's back to the beginning of the palace.
Yeah, depending on how deep the dragon is in the palace and how good Warlock is. Oh, he didn't take this right immediately. That's true. He has this immediate right. That would be a super troll if Barba's just 1 room to the right. Be a sigh of relief from Ty as he places the gem on what is probably the most difficult palace for any runner, at least boss-wise. Most difficult boss to fight, and he's probably happy to be done with that and not have to come back here.
Yep, and he is out. He got the magic container out of there. He killed Guma. He's done with Valley of Death.
Yeah, this could be like the major. I don't know if I call it a turning point, but perhaps just an overall bullet point in the overview of the race, where that play into P5 was the better play to make than going into P6 and then Warlock taking the game over and then heading to the right. And if he doesn't find Barba soon, this could cost him, depending on how long it takes Ty to find the dragon in here. Because up to this point, they were pretty close by each other, but that P5 could be it. If that P5 would have trolled Ty a little bit more, if he would have taken a game over himself on Guma, then got to dig back to him, got to give it another shot. But in and out in 1 try, it's always a great feeling.
Yeah, I agree, and yeah, this could definitely be a momentum shift.
That's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, it's not a turning point because they were so close to each other, but the shift in momentum, yeah. We still don't have any sort of sighting of a 3-eyed rock or a 3rd palace here. We're looking for one. We know it's not GP. We don't know if Ty has that information exactly. I don't remember. Again, I'm completely forgetting if he went into the caldera at some point, but I don't think he did.
I did not see him go into the I know he did jump cave and found all the item caves, but if
Yeah,
he went into the caldera, I missed it.
Yeah, it's something. Oh, well, no, there's.
Oh, well, here's a palace in the Dig Shake Swamp. Palace 4.
Wow, Warlock saying no to life at 920 as well. He's going to keep going. Got 1240 for Magic 5. And now see if he's going to try to place the gem to get attack 6. Or at this point, it looks more like Barba. If Barba rolls up on experience and gets a nice fat 1,000 or something, if he's close enough, then attack 6 off Barba and then place the gem for 900. I don't know what I'd rather have happen, but I guess if your goal is the power level attack, then whatever it takes to get those levels up for attack. So both of our runners here showing us different palaces. Palace 6 on Warlock's side, Palace 4 on Ty's side here. We have no idea what the right direction is, so we can't help them at all. Unfortunately, they cannot ask the audience or phone a friend right now or phone the commentary. But yeah, so it's all up to them to pioneer, traverse these palaces and figure out where the bosses are, because we don't know. Unfortunately, need a key there for Warlock. Gonna have to take a death here.
At least he has this convenient lava pit.
Barba tends to build his or her, I'm not exactly sure, palaces with a lot of lava pits in them. It is nice to see the keys in the drop pool, though. I do like that.
Yeah, it's always a nice thing to see, especially when the magic key is not in one of those like first 5 or 6 overworld checks.
Yeah, and that could be a potential turning point as well, as we're seeing Warlock still have to take deaths to I mean Ty will as well if he finds himself having to cast fairy too much to get through doors to get that magic back. But if the magic key wasn't in P5, if it's sitting here in P6, we didn't see the item yet, have we? I don't think we have.
No, we have not.
Okay, if it's sitting here in P6, that could be something that allows Warlock to close, make up a bit of ground here. So this P6 is trolling Warlock. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, I would do a P6. I'm fine with the P6, but you have to be ready for the terrible layout of P6. It's not always terrible. If you watch the previous race between Nightshifter and Para, Barba was like 3 rooms in if you just held right. Something like that, 3 or 4 rooms in. And not so much in this P6, though, for Warlock.
Yeah, it'll be sad if that is actually the case and Warlock is just putting off going through that key door on the right.
He did check it on that same.
Oh,
he went
okay.
left. He kind of juked us, and then he
Okay.
came back right. And I forget what was over there. I don't remember if it was his dead end or not. Also looks like P4 is a little long today as well.
Yeah, I think Ty has found at least 1 loop. I love that key door that you can
Yes.
sometimes, just kind of slide through.
It's also a troll, though. If you're trying to keep a key, if you're trying to save that key,
Yeah.
and you walk in and then boom, doors open. You're like, I wouldn't have done that. Why? Now I'm down a key. Oh, here we go.
All right, we've got outdoor Barba today for Warlock and outdoor low on health Barba. So, Warlock showing us some fancy jackhammer strats there.
Oh, is that what that was? I looked away for just a second, and the next thing I knew, he was taking a lava bath. Oh, okay, we do have some jump strats here.
Okay, and you know, jackhammer light this time. Meanwhile, Ty continuing to... Okay, have we found a Karak? It looks like we have.
Speak of the devil, I don't know what the item was, though. Do we see the item? I'm watching Warlock here. Unfortunately, he's not happy about these Barba plays.
Yeah, Warlock. That was bad timing and bad luck. That was a really quick Karak for Ty.
It was, yeah. Look away and you miss it. I think Warlock's down to his final life at this point, and Barba is a little bit of a dig into the palace. You just got to go the right way, naturally, but it's still several rooms in, and he picked up a 1-up along the way. Oh, that was in the one elevator room. He picked it up, and that's why he had the extra life. But if he can't kill Barba here, he's gonna have to walk back in. I think he's on his final life.
This is his final life, yeah. I don't blame him for being a little bit careful here. You definitely don't want to have to do all that walking again. Extra stabs there just to make sure Barba's good and dead.
Thankfully, he's got enough left over for Fairy here. I mean, obviously he took a death before killing Barba, but you know, if he was on his last life, no magic, kill Barba, not enough. It looks like our jars are actually blue that are dropping from bosses today, which is just total troll. I mean, you know, it could come through clutch. A blue jar could come through clutch, because I always look forward to like a Thunderbird fight on what's going to drop for my Thunderbird fight. And blue jar, like you usually walk out of Thunderbird if you don't have 8 magic containers or 7 magic containers. You usually walk out of there with very little magic. So even if you can get a little bit of magic back from killing Thunderbird, if you got a little bit more palace to dig through, a shield cast here or there, or maybe a cheap fairy cast that'll get you, it's always nice. But yeah, you probably want to see, you'd rather see a red jar if you're concerned about magic at that point. Or a 1-up, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely like to see the 1-ups when I know that, yeah, I might be coming off T-Bird with my last life, or, you know, very low life or magic.
Yeah.
So it looks like those boots did give Ty a bit of an advantage navigating part. I'm still not convinced that this is an Islands East.
I actually did it. I don't. No, it does kind of look vanilla-like to me.
I think that's what I was thinking as well, with this how it's segmented. Okay, so he doesn't have the flute to get across that bridge. He doesn't have the boots to cross the water.
Okay, so that's where this advantage comes in. Well, he just saw the forest tile. Did we not check? Have we been in New Kasuto already? Because if we haven't, he's got the hammer. I could be totally misremembering us being in New Kasuto earlier. That's 100% entirely possible. But if we haven't been, that forest tile he walked down was nothing, and that means New Kasuto 100%.
Yeah, I don't remember us being in there in this seed. Ty just found Barba really fast as well.
Wow.
Very quickly. There must have been another way.
Yeah, either that or it was just Warlock checking, you know, at junctions, making all the wrong decisions, which happens. And then he did up an A at least one time. I think he might have game overed once and up an A then, and that took him a little bit to push through. But I would say that's probably because of his lower life.
That was close. Ty saved that. He almost fell right in the lava. Oh, Tyvarius is a Barba whisperer, says Homewrecker. That could be true. All right, and that is Ty's 6th gem placed here at 1:08:35.
Minute 8, 68 seconds into this race, we have almost GP entry. Oh, did he? Okay, so this is us not thinking that he has checked the caldera, but now he knows. Okay. He's cruising, though. Absolutely cruising. What I was saying a moment ago is I think it's just, other than the amazing guess in P6 there, I think it's just his higher levels. Like, he's been able to take more bops and more damage and kind of just body through anything he needed to with his Life 6, Life 7 there, and Warlock sticking to not getting Life 5 until just recently, looking for that power level on attack and magic. And yeah, maybe taking some bops and like you mentioned, a lot of Doom Knockers, and they were taking off a ton of damage on Warlock, and that was probably a cause for him some early, some excessive deaths and whatnot.
Right, so Ty was into GP at 1:09:44, according to his timer. Let's see what we've got. Oh, our friend the spicy chicken, bopping Ty immediately into the lava.
Yeah, that I was just gonna say at that point, that is an up and A candidate, and then that's a fairy room right there. You just ferry through that. There's a bluebird on the bridge behind. This
Wow. Yeah, this is one of those ain't nobody got time for that rooms.
He makes it though. Makes it. It didn't have to play out that nicely, but it did.
Did we ever see Darunia?
That's an amazing question.
I'm thinking neither one of these runners have upstab. This could get spicy.
Yeah, this early dig and that was just it looked like he might have been bopped. It looked like he was crouching to break out the blocks and then got bopped into the falling position, and then of course holding down, just immediately down stab as a result into the lava.
Okay, it looks like Warlock finally found his way that alternate Maze Island cave entrance exit over to Valley of Death.
Yeah, unfortunately, that death right there was bad. He had 2 casts of Fairy that he could have gotten through, but or at least 1 cast of Fairy. I forgot how much it is at Magic 5. What? How is he on the ceiling?
There was a despawned elevator, Mirai, and he just went down it. This is going to be interesting. Okay.
Well, the only reason this might be problematic. So that was a room. That was that one room with the King Bot the only elevator that can despawn. And the room is actually built incorrectly. And it doesn't have to despawn the elevator, but if the elevator was implemented correctly. But that's currently how it is. And so it's kind of a bug. What I'll say is that if he actually finds Dark Link before finding Thunderbird, though, he needs the up and A back to the palace, because Thunderbird is absolutely required to kill in this flag set. And so if you're skipping Thunderbird and you finish the game by skipping Thunderbird, that is, I'm assuming it's a disqualification. I don't think there's a redo there. That's that is in the rules.
Yes. Yeah, it is in the rules.
There are some things that are kind of wishy-washy based on weird bugs that happen. So, we now introduced the Shaddy Skip to the game, which is where we just despawn bosses. Because
that was just wild.
And so that was obviously an exception. We found a weird exception last Max Rando tournament just earlier this year as well. And so there are things that happen. Randomizers are crazy at times. And so if this is Darklink up here, this is a problem. This is not good. Yeah, but it is just that one room that, again, the one room implemented in such a way. It's a flipped vanilla room. So whoever built it, when they went to the community room jam and they put all these rooms into the new rooms into the game, it's a flipped vanilla room. But whoever built it with an elevator that's marked as an enemy. And what happens is when you pop a King Bot, all of the enemies despawn on the screen, and so the elevator despawns with it, because there are plenty of other. Oh, this is the room. Was there a new? This is the same room. Okay. Yeah, that's the room right there. He already came through. He's actually going backwards now. Anyway, yeah, the room could be rebuilt with an elevator implemented correctly, and we wouldn't have that problem. Because we see King Bots pop in other rooms that have elevators, and the elevators don't disappear because they're
elevators.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he realizes it's going backwards. That was the so he did get put a little bit further ahead, but it didn't look like a Thunderbird skip by any means, because he was able to walk back to where he was.
Yeah, that game over might actually be a good thing for him to kind of just reset him in this palace.
Assuming he doesn't pop the bot again and take the drop. So what spells are we missing then? We are missing...
We're missing life. We are missing fire. We are missing spell.
Okay. Are we missing spell? Yeah, I mean, you might be 100% correct. I'm just trying to recap what might be a new Kasuto or Darunia in this case. And obviously it's not progression, but I'm just trying to think to myself what else we might be missing. We haven't seen a combined fire with anything as far as I can remember. So literally could be fire life, and that would be interesting. Both the spells we're missing. Okay, fire life and spell. Okay, yeah. So fire could be linked to either one of those. Would be a total waste of time. But something like a fire thunder would be pretty big.
Yeah, fire thunder is so nice when you get fire down to cheap and you can just abuse the heck out of it everywhere.
Yeah. See, now a play like that, we always talk about how it feels bad to die when you've got a full magic, you've got all of your magic. And so that could have been like a quick ferry to get around that Firebird there. Oh, it's a dead end. I thought we saw a dead end moving right as well. Maybe. Oh.
No, Chi, as far as I know, fire will always be linked to a different spell. I don't think I've ever even seen it bug out where it just links to itself.
Yeah, it can't link to itself. I've never seen that happen. We got some weird bugs in the randomizer, but fire being fire is not one of them that I've ever seen. I don't think anyone's ever said they've seen a bug like that. Which would kind of suck if such a thing existed.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah, so I forgot we had another waffles over lava room here. So this is our correct path right now.
Oh no, Warlock, please don't get trolled by Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Warlock, so I was skeptical about these boots, given the lack of water that we have on all of the continents, but it seems like Warlock is really having some navigation issues without them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then we're gonna have a hard upstab block. I mean, I would not expect either one of these runners to know the vertical upstab block skip, so that still might be an actual block for us.
And I'm not sure that either. I know they both know of it. I'm not sure if either one of them has learned it.
I was gonna say we might see some tutorial watching in real time. Jay Coper, one race, said that he was about to do that. I think he was on the brink of losing the race. Whoever, I think it was up against Trails. And it was over at that point, very, very soon to be. And he came into the interview and said, I saw the upstat block and I was about to go watch the video and learn how to do it. That would have been great. Yeah, we're seeing a handful of junctions here, and it's always difficult to keep track of this stuff. I know when I was a newer runner, I literally just drew maps of some of these GPs at times.
Yeah, I've had to do that before too, to keep track of where I've been and what is a loop and what is a duplicate room, especially.
There's our fire link right there. Was that Reflect? What did he cast? I don't know what he cast. Or was it fire? Did he cast? No, he didn't cast Thunder.
No.
Fire's Reflect. Okay.
Fire, yes, he did cast Reflect. Unfortunately, Kingbot does not care about Reflect.
Yeah, we don't know if that was the right path or not. He did have another branching path into what we call a fun room that was going up an elevator, but he chose to come back down and then just head right. And so he's still got two options, it looks like. We'll see if he can, or the upstat block, as well. Yeah, so he's got some options, but I don't know. Okay, wait. So here. Warlock's about to walk into 4. Did you see that right at the top? There was a town.
I did.
Yeah.
I did see that, and I think he also saw that.
Yeah, so this is going to be our Darunia. We'll have to see. It gets the upstab. I mean, that would be interesting if Warlock turns this around and gets upstab, and it's the actual upstab that's blocking Ty. We might be here for another few minutes, folks. Strap in. Yeah, see, Ty is being very stubborn here. He likes to shield through this. I think as far as you are, you're so far away from Thunderbird, right? He's very likely going to take a death at some point before Thunderbird. So there's no real need to be super conservative with your magic in these early rooms. Just keep yourself alive, right? He walks out of this room. The first time through, he did it very impressively, but it's RNG on how the birds are operating. So these last few times have not been too kind to him. He took some early deaths there. He walked out of there with 3 hearts down one time, 2 hearts down this time. And if you just ferry through that first room, it costs a little bit more, but you get out with all of your life. You come into this room, then you can shield again and get through this room with the heads in it. Because you're bound to take damage in here. You're definitely going to take damage in here. So if he leaves that first room already damaged, and you're bound to take damage in this room with all these heads bouncing all over the place, it could be really detrimental as he walks out of there with just over 2 hearts now. And has to take this hit from the King Bot because he can't pop it. Oh no! Edian doesn't know that. Man, we got to put together some sort of list of things not to do. It kind of helps, though. Does it kind of help? He goes back this way, and I think he goes up and right from here, so it might kind of help.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry, we saw the town check on what's that, Darunia? I totally missed
it was Old Castudo with Spell.
Oh, okay.
So we did find one of our missing spells.
Yeah, so at least I guess as long as, like, see, here's the argument for that as well, is that he keeps trying to get the jar out of that one statue, and he's been getting it out of the statue, and so he has the option to spend that magic early on, keep himself alive, and then take that weird drop, which is working in his favor to get him, I think, ahead a room or so. Just had to walk backwards and then come into this room. But on the way, there's the fairy room elevator in GP there, which he can try to get his magic back and still keep all of his lives, hopefully, in the process of that. These are the things that you kind of like as you build through these palaces. If you're game overing a lot, regardless whether you're newer or whether you're a veteran runner and it's just a terrible GP, you start to learn really like what are the tips and tricks that you're teaching yourself along the way. And how to get through these rooms better and where you can cast magic and where you should be conserving magic, things of that nature. So I don't know. I don't know how much a newer runner is absorbing all of that information as he plays through this, but it is something that you pick up kind of along the way. Item in P4 here.
The 7th heart container. Not a terrible find.
Yeah, especially if Warlock makes it in here with potentially slightly lower levels than Ty does. All right, so Tyvarius with an elevator room here. This is another one of those rooms you kind of probably want to shield in. That's where you want to. This is where you need to, like, again, something you'll learn as you play through this. It's the first time we've seen this room, but I don't know how much magic he had, if he had enough at all. I didn't look up at his magic bar, but these dots, they hit like a truck, and then the king bot that pops out of nowhere hits you like a truck. And now you know that these there, you pop them. See, this elevator has no problem with that king bot. So just to show the audience that we're not crazy when we talk about it.
We promise the elevator spawns sometimes.
Oh no, is this a loop, or is this a duplicate room here? Oh, it's a dupe. Wow. Or no, maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, it is a dupe. Because this should be waffles over lava.
Yep.
Oh, this is the other side of the upstab block. He's going to go down this, and I mean, it doesn't have to be. This could also be a duplicate room, but this could very easily be this, and that would negate the need for upstab at that point. Although, he's going to have to go back around the other way again because he can't go back where he came from.
I think he realizes what just happened from the look on his face.
Yeah. It's worth the check though, because as he just witnessed, he went through a dupe room, and I mean, I have been burned by it before, moving through a palace very quickly on a timer, and you're like, oh, this is a loop, and then it's not actually a loop; it's a duplicate room, and so it's hard. You know, that is a decision you make to check or not check. In that case, not checking would have been the better play, but you have no idea ahead of time. It could have been the elevator to Thunderbird for all he knew. Yeah, so he's got the left in the glove block elevator there, and then he's got a down and a left and right here as well at this elevator. He's got options. Wow.
And Warlock, unfortunately, not really making up time, not finding Karak very quickly here in P4. Here we go.
Yeah, that was like a full clear P4, unfortunately. It looked like he did some digging in several directions.
But at least we have a very sick, very fast Karak.
Yeah, and luckily not too trolly because he's got one hit left. So Karak, thankfully, I don't know how many lives he has left, but survives that Karak fight. Okay, he had one life left. Okay, perfect. I would love to talk to Tyvarius in the post-race interview and ask him if he's able to keep this palace straight in his head, because he's in what I believe is still new territory at this point with more junctions. I don't know if Warlock can access Death Valley other than with the boots from where he's at or back through Maze Island. But he needs to get back there and get rid of Guma take him out and get into the caldera and see if he can close the gap here. There's a gap for sure, but I don't know. It's still up. There still could be an upstab block at some point. If Warlock walks in there with upstab, that could change the flow of things here.
We could also still see the key room. As
That's true.
the blocked key room. Like the actual, glove blocked and key locked room. And yeah, keys are in the drop pool, but I haven't seen any in GP. And Ty doesn't have any right now.
Yeah, if they're in the small enemy drop pool, they'll be farmable by something like these Bogos or bots or Mews or something. But if they're only in the large enemy drop pool, there's no large enemy drop pool in GP. The large enemies in here are not part of any drop pool. They don't drop anything other than experience.
Okay, Warlock has found his way into Valley of Death. Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude!
Is he gonna try the clip?
Well, he's already broken it, so he'd have to step out. Oh, no. Oh, no, we don't even know where Darude is at either.
Okay, this just got spicy.
All right, Warlock. Oh, no, Warlock. Oh, no, Warlock game over in Death Valley or something because he's not in P5.
Sag.
Man, where is this Darunia? I mean, we know the forest tile where Nukasuto's at, but we still didn't get a check for that. What's going to be terrible is if he gets this upstab technique and then needs a key after the upstab room.
Oh, that would be so bad.
I'm giggling, but I also feel terrible if that happens. We would like people to stay in the Z2R community and not troll them out the door every single seed. I mean, to be fair, though, we don't really see that room a lot. I mean, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I played a ton of seeds. I don't see that room all that often, so it's not really expected to be there. I mean, we covered a good bit of this eastern continent. Where is Darunia? It must have just been out of the sights of both of our runners whenever they were just traversing across this thing. And that's wild. I would imagine that neither one of the runners wanted to skip upstab. It's just that Ty probably thought, well, I don't know where Darunia's at, so we'll just chance it. And I mean, again, more often than not, you don't have an upstab block in GP. Tons of runners skip upstab. Even those that don't know how to do the upstab skip. And, more often than not, I'm using that phrase a lot, but more often than not, they're fine. But this is interesting now. This is what makes the post-race interviews really good too.
Yeah, this has turned into a very spicy end of this race.
Oh, so this is okay. That's a pass-through cave, right? Is that Darunia on our map right there after this Wilson encounter? I think it might be. Yeah, Night Shifter, we have an upstab required. Oh my god, this is... Okay,
wow. Wait, is it just north of Old Kasuto?
Yes, it is. I was just about to say that. Yes, it is, because there's the swamp town just south of here. It was right here the whole time.
The eyes of Ganon just wrecked Ty.
This is... Oh my god. He's like, what else could go wrong?
Yeah, Night Shifter, I mean... Upstab, we think it's probably the only way left to go. Tyvarius does not know the upstab skip, or is maybe not comfortable enough with it quite yet. So he left GP in search of upstab.
Yeah, I don't know if he fully exhausted every route he had available to him. I want to say he didn't, but he might have. looking back and forth between the two runners, you always miss kind of a junction here or there that or that they might have been looped back around to. But yeah, we at least have seen one upstab block that we haven't seen the other side of. So there's at least progress, we think, behind one of these upstab blocks. Yeah, probably hoping for life in Old Kasuto there. Still hanging out on the east, though. I wonder if he's just kind of looking around for New Kasuto, thinking maybe he wants to check for the key as well.
Okay, Warlock has made it through Valley of Death, headed into P5.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, he was that would have been the super time save had he seen Darunia and gone into Darunia and gotten upstab when he was in Old Kasuto there before going back into P4, and that could have been the game changer here. Otherwise, if that upstab block is our only way through, if that is our only progress towards Thunderbird, then Ty has that information. He has upstab as well. He knows that, and if Warlock walks in there and finds that, he's going to need to come back out, and that's just going to be so much of a time loss.
Even with Ty doing whatever it is he's doing over here, I think he still has a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, my money is on New Kasuto. I think he's just doesn't want to leave those checks. This key, having to step out of GP like that, it always feels bad. And we don't know. He didn't clear all the palaces though, so the magic key still could be in a palace somewhere.
I think New Kasuto is the tile just to the right of this one that's in that swamp, if I'm not mistaken. Or I am mistaken.
Yeah, it's a little bit further over here, I thought. There.
Or maybe it's just sitting out. No. Okay. I don't know where I thought I was. Okay, that's the one above the River Devil.
Or maybe he just wants a life spell as well. Maybe he just wants that.
Which, I mean, it totally valid.
Yeah. If you're taking a lot of damage somewhere and you're gonna say, give me that life spell.
Looks at the candle and says, no, thank you.
Tracker says, I'm giving it to you anyway, Ty.
Homewrecker says, you get the candle whether you want it or not, sir.
Yeah, so I guess he's probably hoping that this isn't a one bar heal here. Oh, the spell tower! Oh, he doesn't have spell, does he?
Did he skip it in New Kasuto or in Old Kasuto? I think he might have left without getting it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I mean, keys are in the drop pool, so maybe he'll kill enough. Again, don't know if it's small or large enemy drop pool. Wasn't paying attention to that, but if it's small, he will eventually see another key. He just has to kill enough small enemies.
Nochi, if you track any of Holmes' races, you should just always give him Mirror Shield. Always. Whether he has it or not. It's because it's his favorite item, so the tracker would just be sad without it.
All right, stepping back into Palace 2 for round Palace 7 GP for round 2 here. What about 30 minutes later?
Yep. Well, his first entry, yeah, it was right at about 107, 108, and he was in here for a while.
Yeah, that room has "Fairy Through Me" written all over it.
Yeah, just fairy. Warlock cast jump in that weird block room in P5, hoping, I think, to get a red jar out of the statue up top, which I'm not sure if that's a 50. Like, I don't think that really ever has a red jar.
No.
But then when you cast jump in that room, it makes it really difficult to get through the tight spaces when you break the blocks.
We saw a key drop on Warlock's side there, and I didn't see what he killed to get that key drop. And I wanted to know whether it was a large enemy.
I think it's a small.
Okay. See, now here's what I was talking about again. Ty giving us an example. That first room that he goes through, he doesn't ferry through it. He took 3 hearts of damage in that room, then walked into here. And it's so difficult to avoid damage in this room with Ra heads and the Bago Bagos. It's just, some rooms you just are guaranteed to take damage in. And even with the shield spell, he still took 3 hearts of damage, and that was enough to kill him here. Again, looking back at the previous room, ferrying through that, walking into this room with all of your hearts and a shield spell. And that's ultimately the play. Again, newer, less experienced runners, it's fine. It is the way it is. These are the things you learn. But, I'm just pointing things out as we play here.
Night Shifter is telling us that life is only healing 2 bars, which, better than 1, but not great. Especially at a cost of 42 at Magic 7.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say. 95% of the time, I will just put it at 95 now that this drop doesn't do this, but 95% of the time, that will kick you out to the start of the palace. It's just interesting that the drop takes him there. And again, thankfully, it doesn't take him onto the other side of Thunderbird.
Yeah, and other than dropping him past Thunderbird, that was my concern, was that he was going to get kicked back out to start and not realize that he was despawning the elevator by killing the Kingbot.
Yeah. It's actually in the Palace Room document, though, I believe. I believe I put it in there and said that if there's a Kingbot in this room, killing it will despawn the elevator. And I don't know if I say anything further than that. Maybe I should explain that in the document. Now, I thought this was the wrong way, but this might be a shortcut now that he has upstab. No. It's going to be a right. As far as I can remember, it's going to be a right through. No, this is going to take him back to the Kingbot room. Oh, he needs his magic back, though. He can get a jar. He can jar there. I only know that because he got a jar last time. There's not always a jar in that room.
So that issue with the elevator despawning, that is a rando specific issue because that room is a community room. So it's not an issue in the base in the regular base game, but because that room was created, by I don't even know who made that room, but it was made during the room jam before the 4.0 version of the randomizer was released, and Mirai gave a really good explanation earlier of how that elevator is actually coded as an enemy. So that's why it despawns when you kill Kingbot, because Kingbot kills despawn enemies.
Yeah, and it's a weird elevator as well, because when you even look at it, when it's still there, it's actually slightly off center from the shaft.
Yeah, and you can tell it's not, I've noticed that as well.
Okay, so this for Ty, I think, is going to be a shortcut for him, but unfortunately, he's probably going to want to shield that. He's bodying these birds is terrible, and you can't hit him like this. They always have their shield down. Well, you can upstab them, but you can't hit him when you're jumping up like that. This is working well, but I think if he gets hit again, it's going to be a death perfect. Warlock. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did a nice job with that Moa there in the Crumble Bridge room.
Yeah, that's definitely a room that will troll any inexperienced player. From left to right's not as bad. Right to left is the big troll for newer runners. Just hoping to not downstab through the blocks here as he's trying to kill some stuff. I don't know if I entirely remember this particular room on Ty's side.
I was just thinking, I wonder if this is new. I don't remember.
Oh, it is new because there's the dead end. So he's checking for a jar, but the deal is here, if you see an enemy when you come in, there's going to be no jar anywhere in here. It's jar or enemy. That's what it is. And if you see the flipped variant of this room, which is not vanilla, as far as I know, no jar ever spawns in that room. So, yeah, you could save yourself some time. Now, what would be a pro play is we take out Guma on Warlock's side and we go find Darunia, and then we make this a spicy race as we both walk into GP here.
Yeah, that would be Galaxy Brain. Warlock breaking out the jump spell for Guma there. It's not a strat you see too terribly often.
I wonder where that key was. This might have been Death Mountain. We don't have 4 or 6 tracks for items on Ty's side, but we saw the item in 4. I don't know if we saw it in 6, and we definitely didn't see anything in Death Mountain other than just stepping in there and seeing that it was a canyon, a river canyon.
Yeah, it would have to be either Death Mountain or Spell Tower.
Oh yeah, or Spell Tower, right.
Or yeah, Palace 6. We didn't see the item from either runner in there.
Okay, so I don't know if we went this way on Ty. So this is one of those this up and left. I don't know if we went this way. This could be the way to the upstep block. I might be completely mistaken, but all right, we have an elevator here. Oh, what happened to... Oh, Warlock's looking for a level here. Okay. Okay, so I guess I was mistaken. That is not the direction we want to go. He's probably lost. He's probably having to just remap all of this again in his head because it happened so quickly and he didn't get a lot of experience here deeper, a lot of repeated attempts deeper in the palace here. And so, yeah, having to kind of relearn the palace as you go in here. Yeah, this is the room we were in before. Now, in this particular room, when you see that configuration of enemies, that's going to have a jar in the statue. So he could go back up there and get a jar out of that statue, cast himself some lives. Otherwise, old runners would call that the one-piece chicken room, which it'll just have one enemy in there at the end by the statue, and there's no jar in those statues at that point. All right, so yeah, Home pointing out that Warlock did step into the wrong cave. That's 3 screens of jump cave, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
But we know so far that it seems like if you don't have upstab, I think we're going to be blocked out here. Otherwise, we're in new territory that Ty hasn't shown us. We are in new territory where Ty hasn't shown us. Well, we've seen some drop rooms, so we might just drop back into them. Oh. We're pretty sure we were here already, unfortunately.
I think we were, yes.
Yeah, it's that upstab. It's looking like I think some frustration's starting to set in here with mapping this thing out. The deal is, it seems like all of the palace is going to be right ahead of Thunderbird. So once you find Thunderbird, it seems like we probably expect Darkling to be 1 or 2 rooms behind Thunderbird at that point.
All right, 148.32 Warlocks into GP for the first time.
Yeah, Tyvarius recognizing that's where he came up before. So I almost want to say that I wasn't wrong a moment ago, because we went up and left in the One Piece Chicken. No. I'm totally turned around. I just haven't been watching this enough. Are we on the right path now? We've been through this room. I think we're on the right path now. How many times can commentary say we're on the right path now before we're actually on the right path now? I think this is it. I'm going to stop talking now. Royale's going to take over. Right, so my assumption was we're in the same room I was just talking about. My assumption was we go up and left, we see this elevator, and it's up and right at some point is going to be our upstat block. That was my assumption. I could be wrong, though. This is what I thought we had to do. But he backed out of here when he first saw it, and I wasn't sure if he recognized the loop or something else. And again, watching both runners, it's hard to track exactly what room someone's in. So yes, I think this is our curtain room that has an elevator up that leads to our upstat block. I think Ty is on the right path now. I got $20 that says he's on the right path. Bet me. Damn it, he was on the wrong path.
I think Warlock did what you were talking about and ferried through that first room. He had a lot more health going into that waffle room. Okay, and Warlock not killing that bot. So he doesn't despawn the elevator.
People who didn't even bet me wanting my $20. I don't think so. You can't cash. You can't cash. This isn't a blank check. Yeah, the left at the block of the ferry room, the left at the block elevator room is the play, but he did find himself looped back around there at some point, I thought, and then he turned around. I don't know what room it is he's exactly looking for. We've seen a lot of the stuff now. He's looped himself around a few times, but at this point, it really does seem like that upstab is 100% going to be our progress, and knowing that, that Warlock is going to need upstab, and that's going to hurt him immensely. Yeah, there's no jar in there. Unfortunately, when you pop the bot, it despawns everything, including the jar and the statue.
Yep. Warlock must be hoping for... I think he was hoping for the ferry. He knows that's a dead end.
Sorry, best I can do is the 2,500 channel points. So he needs to, as far as I know, he needs to go right there into that waffles and lava. I'm pretty sure this takes him back to an elevator room. Yes, that takes him back up into the Kingbot room. Yeah, so as long as he doesn't kill the bird or get killed by it, he can leave the room and come back and try for that jar again. But you might, maybe you can get that fairy without the jump spell, but you got to take a running jump, and it's a little dangerous after the fairy heals you up that you fall into the lava if you don't correct for the momentum you've built up before getting the fairy.
Yeah, I tend to ignore that fairy. I just pretend like
yeah.
it's not even there.
It's definitely, some people, it's definitely got enough people into the lava based on its placement.
Okay, let's see. I wonder if... Yeah, Warlock's confused.
again, I love that we're running into these configurations in races like this. It's like I play so many seeds and I rarely see any of this stuff. And then, of course, we turn on a tournament and, randomizer knows. It's like,
all
well,
here.
Let's just present all of these problems to new runners who have no experience with them whatsoever. I mean, it's a very, again, I'm ecstatic that it doesn't kick us back to the front of the palace, because that would really throw off the runners and they wouldn't really know what to do maybe. But, that it actually kicks you forward an extra room. So that's nice, but they're still not experienced with that bug. Yeah, is it time for a map? Ty is looking pretty frustrated with this GP here. It might be time for a map. And it's not something you normally want to break out in a race, but I mean, we've seen people break out maps in races before. I mean, start drawing, start making squares and try to figure out where you've been and where you need to go.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was a Max Rando tourney or last year's standard tourney, but I remember there was a race where after it was over, Victor Santa Fe showed us the map that he had to draw for GP. It was bad.
I don't want to. Victor was in that GP for I think 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was all good fun, but the GP was, the way it was built, it had, I believe it was 3 duplicate 4-way elevators stacked on top of each other, and it totally threw Victor off. And other people just started picking directions to go, and everyone eventually got it, but it kept trolling Victor. He kept thinking that he was in the same room and never realized that there was a third one there, I think is what that was. Both of our runners in the same room here.
It looks like Warlock figured out that killing that King bot despawns the elevator, whereas Ty is just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I'm glad he made it through this room too, because he's low on health and he's going to get a fairy right here.
No, Tutor, we're wandering around in this very loopy palace.
Yeah, so right at the first one here, this first fairy junction. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that Ty's taking the right direction. I think this is the elevator that just takes him right back to the bot room upstairs, and then to the left. Warlock just showed us that, and he didn't like that path, and I'm pretty sure it's just a dead end.
It is, yep.
But you have to consider that, right? I mean, no one wants to draw a map, but, and no one, because you don't know where your opponent's at, right? But if you do start to draw a map, you may actually have the advantage. Maybe not this deep into it, because Ty has been in here for a good minute, but maybe it's a little embarrassing to draw a map as well. But I mean, if you have to draw it, even just this crude kind of like, all right, like some landmark checkpoints on where you're supposed to be making a turn, where you haven't dug a certain direction or something. I mean, and this is a short GP as well, but all that means is that the randomizer will take out 25 to 50% of the rooms. And so we could still have upwards of like a 40 plus room GP at that point. And when you consider the size of this of a GP like that to a standard palace I think can roll mid 20s in terms of rooms at the highest, maybe high 20s in Palace 5 or 6. And so to have a palace that is almost double the amount of rooms here in the end at maximum, and it's not even a full GP. A full GP is 50 something rooms, can really trip you up. And we talk about this all the time, that Darklink is such a pushover, and Thunderbird gets a whole lot easier the more that you fight him. I mean, super easy. And so the palace itself is essentially the final boss of the game. And personally, I like that. I like that GP. I know, I get it that there'll be plenty of newer runners that are watching this that have played their own terrible trolley GPs in the past. I played, my share as well. But at the end of the day, when you watch a GP end up, when you watch races go down where, 3 rooms in is Darklink, it's like, well, okay, and Darklink is nothing. Darklink is nothing at the end of the day. So you're hoping for something to be a little bit more challenging, but unfortunately, this is a pretty challenging palace for our runners, given their experience. And we seem to have some duplicate rooms that are throwing us for loops, so to speak.
Yeah, this GP is... I mean... At some point, one of them is going to hit the right path and then kick themselves for not, going that way sooner.
Yeah, what's frustrating for Ty and what's both amusing and interesting from the audience perspective is just simply that Ty found the right way, right? He found it and then he had to leave. And now that he's back, he has probably spent more time trying to refine the way than he did the first time getting through.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Warlock has only seen one of the upstab block rooms, so he's not entirely sure if he needs to even go get upstab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of done with this, and I think they're both, probably watching the race room, waiting for the other one to finish.
Yeah. I almost wonder if Warlock, now stepping out, I almost wonder if he's considering going back to Darunia, or at least to try to find it because he doesn't know where it's at. Going to Darunia to see if maybe this isn't over yet because of that upstab block. And he doesn't know if he's thinking that it's not that upstab block the reason it's not over. It's a different upstab block that it's not over, but same line of thinking. So Darunia would be the answer in this case at this point of the race for him. This is going to drop us into the pyramid room, and from there, I'm pretty sure he has to go left. Here we go. This is our progress. It seems we could get there 2 different ways. You just got to get to that pyramid room, and I know the first time he saw it, he walked through it from right to left. He didn't drop into it until later. And so this is going to be our upstab block right here.
Yep.
Now, this might be kind of tricky. I don't know how many lives he has left, but he can break out these blocks and bring this bluebird down, or he could just tank it and go. And so you bring the bluebird down and you take out his shins. Hopefully we don't have anything too bad in this. Oh boy.
This room.
So
I guess at least it's not the key lock.
So I really like this room with Boggle Boggles in it. It's a fun challenge for me. But this is could potentially be disastrous for a new runner, but he made it. Well, yeah, D-Bean saying last life. So he's got an option here. Just stay here and let the Boggle Boggles come to you. Or spawn them and then come back there. I don't know why they haven't spawned yet. There you go. You can just let them spawn and just farm them. And this, unfortunately, is the play for Ty to make right now. I mean, it's a play I've made plenty of times. It's a play you see other players make as well. That sometimes, there it is. Perfect. Now, do you want a life first and then try it later? Yeah. Because it's in the drop pool. You just need to sit here for long enough. And he might actually get a 1-up. Did we see 1-ups in the drop pool? I think we may have.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, there are keys in the small drop pool.
Yeah, this is a great room to have from a farming perspective. Let's just hope that if he gets the extra life, assuming there are extra lives in the small enemy drop pool, he doesn't like kind of waste it on the way out. Hell, he might level up 3090. I think that's going to be attack 6.
I'm wondering at this point if Warlock is just wandering around waiting for Ty to finish, possibly.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
It didn't seem like he was looking in the east for Darunia and Upstab. Okay, here we go.
He got the one up. I'm pretty sure he's waiting for another red jar. I think he wants to walk out of here with enough to cast the Thunder, Shield, and be at full health. But when the level comes, I mean, that could be a thing as well. This will definitely make Thunderbird easier for him. Oh, it was the level. Okay, so he feels he just wants to go in. I don't think he's got enough for Thunder and Shield, and he's already down 2 bars of health, so I don't know how much Thunderbird is going to hit him if he gets hit. I mean, at most it's a 2-shot. Did he cast Shield? I don't think he did.
He did not.
He's definitely got this. A few more hits. Threading the needle there. Ooh.
Yeah, he's had a couple of close calls, but doing a nice job avoiding the fireballs. That's T-Bird down for Tyvarius.
So here's the thing we talked about earlier. Oh, it is a red jar. Why did I think it was a blue jar? Never mind. Easy. Life, this is bound to be Darklink. Easy, GP.
All right. Oh, get to watch Ty finish off by stabbing Darklink in the ankles.
And there it is. GG.
GG's.
Official time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, 58 seconds. That GP, well, the whole thing wasn't an hour, but he had to go back out and get Upstab.
Yeah, that GP wasn't great in terms of, it was loopy, it was, Upstab blocked.
I think we're going to get both of them in for an interview here. GG, Ty, Warlock.
Good Lord in heaven, that GP.
Yeah, that
someone
GP
explain to me the mysterious disappearing elevator.
I will let Mirai do that. He gave us a great explanation on stream.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the elevator despawns. It's only in that room, and it's only because there's a king bottom that can be spawned in that room. What happens is that it's a flipped vanilla room. There's a vanilla room that looks like that, but it moves to the right. So this is a flipped version of the vanilla room, and whoever built it and they made the elevator an enemy in the code. And so when you pop that when you pop a king bot like that, it despawns everything around it in the room, and so the elevator goes with it. It's an unfortunate side effect that happens, I don't know how often, incredibly infrequently, but it just so happens to be here today in this GP.
I appreciate that, Mariah. Thank you so much, because I was losing my mind on my stream. I'm like, I swear I'm going the right way. What's going on? Now I'm back at the start. Where? Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
it was dropping you into a room that was. It actually was kind of. Well, no, I guess it was dropping. Well, whatever. It was dropping you into a room where you had to come back left, go up, and then go right. And you realized that eventually because there was a lot of looping around there. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it sucks that these small bugs exist here and there in Z2R, and when newer runners run into them, especially in a race, I mean, I wish we could get those fixed. I honestly do.
I do appreciate it, Mariah. It was just one of those things where I felt so good. I'm like, I haven't seen 3 towns. I'm in GP at 109. This is great. And then, of course, I'm no good at the clip you so graciously put a video of in the Discord. I need to clearly practice that because I went back for upstab, which wasn't even needed, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I again was losing my mind there, but other than that, the seed felt great.
No, yeah, you needed upstab for that. There was 2 rooms before Thunderbird.
Yeah, the blue chicken room.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Oh goodness.
Yeah, Warlock. Your mic is muted, but we did see you see the first upstab. There were 2 upstab block rooms in there. Ty showed us the other side of that room, so we knew that the first room we saw was not necessary, and there was one much later in the palace. Kind of a longer palace, if you couldn't tell that from the finish time here, but. Yeah, you would have eventually needed upstab, and we thought that first upstab room was scaring you out and pushing you towards Daruni at that point.
It did.
Got it. Warlock, can you mute the stream, buddy? It's coming through.
Oh, crap.
Love you.
No, my audience all messed up the wrong thing to run Discord.
It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I felt really great about the seed up until GP.
Yeah, no, I was a freaking meat shield for everything.
Yeah. Early Thunder was nice.
Here's what bothered me: walking all 3 was attack 3, attack 2, and I just could not get reunited.
Ty was able to get some good downstabs on the Rebanek early on, but Ty, you were in that palace out of logic a little too early, and you didn't have any keys, and you couldn't cast your fairy spell, and so you couldn't do anything in there, and you had to come back later. But otherwise, that was a double dip for Ty at that point. Luckily, Rebanek was only 2 rooms in to the left, and the item, which was just a 1-up, was 1 room in to the right.
Yeah, game had a couple of jokes. I mean, never touching Death Mountain is always nice.
Yeah, even with seeds with gross Charlie GPs, I'm always a fan of the never go to Death Mountain strat.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough experience. Like, I maybe it was wrong with it. I was like, I'm gonna wait for attack. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, Warlock, I'm not sure where you were. I'm going to watch this one back, just because obviously we practice together all the time. But I was prepared to die on that strat of killing those skeletons, looking for magic in a 1-up before T-Bird. I was like, I'm not going through this GP again. I will farm these until I'm ready.
That was actually a really good play, Ty.
Yeah. The 145, I'm like, why aren't you done yet, Ty? She's done. Please put me out of my misery.
Sorry, bud. I was trying.
I mean, to kick it off, though, when it came to the seed, Warlock, you were the first one through Jump Cave to see all of the West and to get the glove and those things like that. And we thought, you had then a castable fairy, I think, earlier, maybe not. I think you had the shot to be digging in the palaces a little bit earlier in logic than Ty did, but at the end of it, Ty did find the boots in, I think was P5, and that kind of gave him a little bit of an advantage to navigate around that eastern continent. I don't think it was necessary, but it did give him an advantage, and he was able to then clean up the rest of the east pretty quickly.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, those boots I think were in 2, looking at my tracker, but
Oh, okay.
no, it was one of those things where I'm like, I think I'm in go mode, but I wouldn't mind the boots, and they happened to be there, so I was fired up about that.
Yeah, that's right. They were on Maze Island. That's right, and in P2.
Yeah, no, I was Magikarp.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Well, go ahead, Mariah.
well, I was just gonna say the way it worked out is that after P2, because you two were very close up to P2, and then there was the cave on Maze Island that led you to just outside of Death Valley, Ty, and you took it, and you did P5 then and there. Warlock, you went a different direction. You found P6. Unfortunately, P6 was really trolly to you, and there were a game over and I think an up and A for you in P6, which cost you a good bit of time. And Ty was able to one-shot P5 when he was there with his levels. Almost didn't, but he did at the end. I think you clutched it out in the final life on Guma, and that was it. Otherwise, a game over there would have cost you a little bit of time because Guma was not that close to start. But that, I think, is what really, as I believe Royale put it, shifted the momentum in the race to where you had your 4th gem down and Warlock was still in 6 looking around for stuff, trying to find the dragon. And from there, you just kept cruising. You hit up 4. I think you hit up 4 next, maybe you hit 6 next. I don't remember. From there, though, you cruised forward and it all... wasn't it a... Royale, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it that... Oh, that's what it was. Home made a point of saying this as well, is that Ty, when you went into P6, you found Barba incredibly fast. You like literally just went the right way, whereas Warlock, unfortunately, just made I mean, rando when you make multiple guesses. It just sucks to make multiple guesses incorrectly, and Ty just guessed correctly as he went in there and just cruised through it. And so P6 was really quick for him, and that I think was a huge time save. And one more palace to go from there, and then it was GP. But as you can see, Warlock, he walked in, as he said, like 108, 109. But the finish time, almost 60 minutes later, he went in there without upstab as well. And Darunia was just there. So Old Kasuda was just north of P4. And then Darunia was just north of Old Kasudo. And neither one of you guys grabbed upstab when you were there. It could have been just off of your screen. That happens all the time where you just miss something by a tile or two in your view, and you leave it behind thinking, all right, well, we'll gamble. Yep. And this time the gamble came back.
And that's 100% what it was, well, I really hope I don't need upstab. I've had this kid in my pocket for a while, but who knows what that leads to, and it was just shield fire. But,
I was paranoid about upstab. I was like, okay, I haven't seen any towns here. They're probably around here, but I feel so behind, especially after trying to fight the Death Valley. I think getting over trying to do Death Valley work for times.
That's right, you did. That's right.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I mean, again, Warlock, you were totally just. You guys were really, really close up until P2, and then when you diverged, it totally changed the story in both runners where Ty just took off, and Warlock, you just. I just chalk it up to bad luck when you make when it just comes down to like making guesses and then making bad guesses and ending up dying. We saw that you were taking attack 6 over life 4, and like you said, you're taking a lot of damage. And it's without a doubt, it's a play to make yourself a glass cannon. But sometimes you gotta. You guys had shield though. You guys had shield, so that's definitely within the cards to make that play. But like you said, you're taking a lot of damage, and so those lower life levels, I think, kind of maybe caught you in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I was also waiting for magic to come down too.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one fairy cast through Death Valley. This isn't good.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat. I'm like, I know my fairy feats aren't really great lately, so I'm just gonna brute force some of these rooms, and then eventually, the one time I tried fairy feat, I got it. And I'm like, all right, cool, I got my one. I'm out. I'm done.
awesome.
But no, big thank you, obviously, to you, Mariah and Royale. I think Home, are you tracking? Home Wrecker? I appreciate all of you so very much. Restreamers, all of it. Thank you all so very much for featuring us lowly 0-2 runners.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all. Everyone deserves to get a restream here, without a doubt. And we've even got another race coming up here in about 40 minutes. I may end up having to do something with that, so I might have to get dinner here shortly. But yeah, as going into this, the 0-2 racers now. Ty, you've secured a win, 1-2. You've got week 4, week 5 to get another 2 wins to move into brackets. If that is the trajectory you wish, you still have the possibility to make it into brackets, where definitely the competition will be quite stacked. But if you don't, and if you don't, you Warlock, you're now 0-3. You still got weeks 4 and 5 to try to change some of the rankings for the upcoming races that you've got, but at the end of it all, there is the spinoff, there is the bonus tournament, the Nibiru Invitational Tournament that Alan is hosting. If you don't get a chance to move on the brackets, there's more Z2R if you want it. I think obviously you can opt out of that. I think so. If you want more Z2R, it's there. If you don't have to take it. So, but yeah, GG to both of our runners. Royale, any other thoughts here?
No, you both did a great job, and honestly, it's been impressive to see, I kind of watched both of you start picking up the rando. I hang out in your streams a bit. It's been impressive to see, how far you've both come in a few months, and, glad and fun to have some new blood in the tourney.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you for your tutelage, Royale. Mariah, thank you for yours. Trails as well. I lurk in your streams quite a bit, picking up strats, and Home Wrecker, thank you for the coercion into this tournament. I'm having a blast, even though I'm obviously 1-2 now. The race against Ghost Dunk came down to a crummy T-Bird. Race against Devious last week was a really tight one, so I'm hoping I can, at least end up 3-2.
Yeah, everyone. I'm sorry, Warlock. Everyone go follow Tyvarius. He's 11 followers away from streaming in a banana costume.
It's true.
I just wanted to say though that it's great to hear that unique perspective that Royale is, as you said earlier in the race, that she knows you two better than I would know you as newcomers to Z2R, but she knows you from other communities and whatnot. So, hearing her talk about this, that's great. That's great. It's always, like she said, it's always great to have new runners. I know that Z2R can be pretty punishing. This GP was an example of that to a newer runner. This is definitely a bit of a maze and whatnot, but it's not. I promise. I don't know why I keep saying this every stream. I promise it's not this bad to new runners. There are easier flags we could have turned on, I think. So if any of the future races you guys want to turn on any easier flags, just ask in the Discord and say, hey, what are some of the flags that we're able to turn on to make these seeds slightly bit easier? And, we can give some tips there. Alan's willing to approve, some of this stuff, I would imagine. No huge changes, but the small things to change that make it a little bit easier, they're not huge. Yeah. I would imagine he'd be okay with changing that.
Yeah, honestly, our decision to just do no vanilla was the only change we felt like to make it easier. Just because, again, like Devious's seed that he had week 1 where it was unbeatable, and just, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the vanilla start. If we're going to play rando, let's play rando. But no, Warlock, GG's to you, my friend.
Yes, GG. Definitely.
All right, well, with this upcoming race and my need to go get some dinner, I think we're done here unless anyone's got any final thoughts.
Go get some food, Mariah. Thank you again.
I'll watch you in half hour.
Royale, are we good to send this off to CD?
Yeah, we're good. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Fantastic. GG, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to end it here. I believe it's supposed to be that other race coming up in about 30 minutes or so. But we're going to go ahead and, for the time being, we're going to raid ZSR2 as they do A Link to the Past. So GG's, guys. Thank you for all the volunteer work you guys do, and you guys have a great job.